This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Commitment from government around a timeline of when these recommendations are going to be enacted. Women don't have time to wait. They're dying while they're waiting.
Tonight, collective effort, how a newly formed coalition is hoping to secure better protection for women's safety.
They're bringing an urgent veterinary care center to the North Island.
That's what this valley needs. They need a full care, full-time vet service.
Welcome relief for our furry friends on the North Island as the first 24-hour vet clinic breaks ground. Plus, Adam finds out why a Comox Valley woman created an art gallery in her crawl space. Later on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a new push for better protections to combat violence against women. Service providers from the Mid and South Island have formed a coalition. It's a collective voice born out of tragedy, the recent killing of a Saanich woman. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, their efforts are already starting to pay off.
These are things that make me hopeful.
Bahar Donati has a renewed sense of optimism after sitting in a room full of politicians, police leaders, and fellow service providers dedicated to ending intimate partner violence.
It was the first meeting of its kind that's happened in a very long time, if there even is precedent for it.
The executive director of the Victoria Women's Transition House says she hopes the meeting is a turning point, signaling provincial plans to build a justice system better designed to protect women.
The commitment that we got was that they would have further conversations with us.
When will violence against women stop?
The meeting in March was born out of tragedy following the death of Laura Gover, a respected business instructor at Camox College and a mother of two. Gover's death sparked public outcry, her ex-husband charged with second-degree murder.
I'm feeling more hopeful now than I was on the day I learned that Laura passed away.
Candace Stretch is with the Cridge. She was at the meeting and is part of a coalition of service providers that came together after Gover's death to advocate for safety improvements.
For example, with protection orders, that police on the front lines aren't necessarily sure what to do when a breach is reported.
She and Donati say police don't always know they can enforce restraining orders made in family law court, not just criminal court.
Time and time again, we've been told that they need a separate enforcement clause for that to happen, but we've received confirmation that that is not the case.
It's one of many changes the coalition is calling for, with an overarching message for legislators. Women's safety is public safety.
People can use their voice to say this isn't okay, and to share that with their local politicians. I would say that really helps.
Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
The Nanaimo First Nation in Nanaimo is coming out in stark opposition to a proposed industrial expansion near the Cabe Bay Wilderness Trail. The site is about 100 meters away from the Cabe Bay Trail in the south end of Nanaimo, amid a forest of Douglas fir and endangered Gary oak. Nanaimo Forest Products, or Harmac Pacific, is trying to rezone the area, which is just south of its current pulp operations, to create a heavy industrial park. The Nanaimo First Nation says the process is being rushed and treaty rights are not being respected.
We believe our treaty rights have to be respected because the lands in conversation affect our Sarlequin Treaty of 1854. So I want to be crystal clear in this conversation. Nanaimo has a strong track record of being pro-economic development. This isn't about this. This is about due process and about a conversation that respects our Treaty of 1854. And let's do it the right way, in a meaningful way.
There has been strong opposition to the proposal, so much so that a second public hearing was held last night. Parksville farmers and pet owners are taking extra precautions this week after a cougar made a meal of several sheep and an emu. The owners of Truffle Farm say 2 of their sheep were killed over the weekend. A neighboring farm also lost a sheep and an emu. The BC Conservation Service says it's monitoring the situation and that the cougar has shown no aggression towards humans. Pet owners on the Mid and North Island are celebrating the announcement of a new 24-hour vet hospital. Until now, people north of Nanaimo would have to make the trip south in the middle of the night for emergency care. As CTV's Andy Garland reports, the new hospital could be the difference for sick pets trying to survive the night.
Rick treats his 2-year-old Samoyed named Daisy like she's one of the family.
They're family members, they're not just dogs.
And like any other family member, if an emergency were to happen, he wants Daisy to get the care she needs quickly.
Because a dog never gets injured in the middle of the day when you can go in for a vet call.
They live in the Comox Valley, and the closest emergency vet is roughly an hour away.
The next nearest emergency hospital is Nanaimo. This is going to be our main entrance into reception.
That's about to change. Construction is underway at the corner of Anderton and Guthrie in Comox for the Canvas Veterinary Center.
We are bringing an urgent veterinary care center to the North Island.
That's what this valley needs. They need a full care, full-time vet service that will answer the phone all the time.
People shared their experiences on the center's Facebook page, relaying stressful drives to Nanaimo to get urgent care, with one saying they knew someone who lost their dog while racing from Sayward, and another who made the drive in the middle of the night in the snow.
And I know that drive, and that drive is awful when your animal is in crisis, and it's one of the big reasons why we're opening. We see the need.
The 5,500 square foot clinic is designed by a veterinary architect, and Sarah says it will have a warm and welcoming environment with primary focus on cats and dogs to start.
We want this to be a compassionate experience because emergencies are scary, to say the least, and we want to make sure that pet owners feel cared for on some of their worst days.
Canvas will be a community first practice and is currently in the staff hiring process.
We will be open 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are not going to be at 24 hours to start.
Canvas Veterinary Center hopes to open its doors by the end of the year. Andy Garland, CTV News, Comox Valley.
The Victoria SPCA is looking for food donations after its shelves have nearly run dry. Every Wednesday, the branch runs a food bank for pet owners who are having a hard time providing for their animals. The SPCA says inflation continues to hit everyone hard in the pocketbook, including pet owners. Yesterday, the SPCA says it experienced overwhelming demand, nearly emptying its shelves. The branch says it is now in an almost desperate situation and is looking for food for dogs, cats, and smaller creatures like rabbits and guinea pigs.
It's daily. We don't just give food and supplies away on the Wednesday. People come any day of the week that we're here. The people here will answer the door and will help in any way we can. The price and the cost of food, cat food, pet food, it's gone through the roof. So the inflation is real on the pet supplies especially.
The Victoria SPCA is open Tuesday through Sunday between noon and 4 at 3150 Napier Lane. The branch manager says if someone is in the building during off hours, you can ring the doorbell and your donation will be gratefully accepted. Windy and dry weekend weather has the Coastal Fire Center on Vancouver Island issuing its first notice of the season. A heightened risk of wildfires expected from tonight through the weekend as a spring outflow hovers over the island. The Coastal Fire Center says light to moderate winds in the coastal regions will push down humidity levels significantly, and that means drier conditions and wind could help spark fires in the backcountry. This is not an official warning, but BC's Wildfire Service is asking for extra caution this weekend. The Oak Bay Firefighters Charitable Association will be raffling off a brand new muscle car to raise enough money to revitalize Firefighters Park in Oak Bay. The car is a 2026 Ford Mustang GT Premium valued at roughly $80,000. Raffle tickets will go on sale May 1st, and you'll have 6 months to get yourself into the draw. The winner of the car will get to head down to the dealership and select the Mustang's color and package options. The association is looking to raise close to $800,000 in order to give the park a full firefighter makeover.
This will be a 4-year campaign starting off this year to raise funds to completely redo that. And it looks like we're trying to do a fire theme park and actually make it accessible for all.
Tickets cost $30 each, 5 for $100 or 10 for $175. The association says there will be about 31,000 tickets sold, and you can purchase yours beginning May 1st on the Oak Bay Firefighters website. Lace up your sneakers. The Times Colonist 10K is happening this weekend. Whether you're running, watching, or just trying to drive through downtown, 107.3 Virgin Radio's Johnny Novak has all the details on this year's race route.
It's racing season again because the TC 10K is back again this weekend. It's the same route as last year, so it starts in James Bay, goes on Niagara to Douglas, then it goes around Beacon Hill Park, goes through Fairfield to Ross Bay Cemetery, and then it comes all the way back to the ledge via Dallas Road. Afterwards, you can get your medal engraved at New Balance Victoria right downtown. Big shout out to Victoria Custom Laser for providing that. But also, if you are not running, watch out for the closures. They've got the signs posted all along the route already. So we'll see you out on Sunday for the TC 10K.
Nice weather for the TC 10K this weekend. Temperatures should be in the mid to high teens. We're at 13 degrees in Victoria right now. Get to 14 for a high today. More sunshine in the forecast to go with those warm temperatures. We'll talk about that after the break.
Josh, a lot of runners checking the forecast. What do you got for them?
Sunshine and nice mild temperatures here as we head through the weekend. In fact, it should be a couple of degrees warmer than it was today. We get to 14 for a daytime high today. A little breezy as well. Wind out of the southeast around 20 kilometers per hour. Port Alberni in the 20-degree range through this afternoon. Look at the cloud cover looping well to the north. Big upper ridge sitting just off the west coast. That will stick around for the next couple of days. Kind of weakens a little bit. Some colder air or cooler air starts to press back in from the east. Saturday, Sundays. That'll allow a little extra cloud cover in there, but for the next 24 hours, look at this. Clear skies overnight tonight. There's tomorrow afternoon. Nothing but blue skies for most areas. In the north, you'll see some fog patches develop overnight tonight, then sunny and 15 tomorrow afternoon. Should see highs of 15 with mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies for Saturday, Sunday. A little extra cloud cover there into early next week. Morning fog patches as well, possible for inland areas. Sunshine and 22 for a high tomorrow. 21 and 20 for highs Saturday and Sunday. Morning lows will be in the 4 or 5 degree range, and those daytime highs are a handful of degrees above average. A little breezy out on the west coast. Could see gusts in the 40 to 50 kilometer per hour range. We'll get some fog patches as well through the morning, and then sunshine and 15 in the afternoon. Sunny and 15 as well for Saturday, Sunday. Some rain in the forecast, though. Monday night into Tuesday of next week out on the west coast. 20 and sunshine in Comox tomorrow. A bit of cloud cover Saturday, and really nothing all that significant. And back to sunshine and 20 on Sunday. In Nanaimo, sunny and 19 tomorrow. 18 and 20 for daytime high Saturday, Sunday. Mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies on Saturday. We showed you that slight cool down in the mid and upper levels there that backs in for Saturday. So that may help produce a little bit of extra cloud cover there, but looks like it's more sun than cloud for both days. Friday, mainly sunny here in Victoria, 6 degrees in the morning, 18 in the afternoon. So warmer than it was today, and a couple of degrees warmer than the average daytime high. A little gusty in the morning. About 40 kilometer per hour gusts through the morning hours. Those should back off in the afternoon. And 18 in Victoria, closer to the water, about 14 degrees. And that'll be the case for Saturday, Sunday as well. Mainly sunny skies, highs of about 18, but closer to the water, 3 or 4 degrees cooler than that. So nice to see some mild temperatures, although you heard the alert earlier, Nifisa, in the newscast with the dry conditions for this weekend. Just be on alert if you're headed into the backcountry.
All right. Thank you, Josh. The U.S. Commerce Department says it's looking at new trading sectors to protect as top American officials revive talk of Canadian trade irritants in the run-up to CUSMA negotiations. The Prime Minister is responding in a forceful way today, saying he's ready to go into detailed negotiations or wait if that's what has to happen. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
As this Ottawa pub gets ready for a busy night of playoff hockey, the shutout of U.S. spirits has led to a run on Canadian alcohol.
We really get asked more like about Niagara wines versus the Californias, and we get asked about the Canadian options for spirits as well.
The decline in American booze sales is likely why U.S. trade officials continue to bring it up as an irritant.
There may have to be an enforcement action to deal with this issue on wine and spirits in Canada.
When pressed about that today, the Prime Minister pushed back.
You know what's an irritant? 50% tariff on steel, 50% tariff on aluminum, 25% tariff on automobiles, all the tariffs on forest products. Those are more than irritant.
Appearing on CNN, Premier Doug Ford made no apologies for Ontario not stocking U.S. alcohol and Ontarians not vacationing in the U.S.
It's unfortunate that Canadians are boycotting spending tens of billions of dollars in the U.S. This can come to a quick end. Everyone can thrive and prosper.
While criticizing the Carney government for making concessions and not getting any in return, the Conservatives say it's time to hold firm.
I don't think we should squander any more leverage after learning from Mr. Carney's mistakes.
Poilievre believes the focus should be on the 2.6 million Canadian jobs affected by the trade war. The Prime Minister agrees, adding negotiation over American alcohol is a two-way street.
We can make progress very quickly on that, with progress in other areas.
Carney added Canada is ready to wait for those talks if that's what has to happen, using an increasingly defiant tone as the CUSMA deadline approaches. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The conflict in Iran is costing Canadians more to fly. It's also raised unease over whether airlines will cancel more flights because of shortages of jet fuel. And now WestJet is joining other carriers in increasing other surcharges. CTV's Kamal Karamali reports.
Canadian Airlines not only canceling flights, but now trying to make up for those rising jet fuel prices by increasing baggage fees. Travelers checking in their first or second bag at the airport will now have to pay $10 more per item. If you do it beforehand online, it'll be $5 more per bag. Fees for overweight or oversized luggage will see an increase of $50 more. WestJet says the price bump is because of the current global conditions. It's the third time in 3 years it's increasing baggage fees, and comes after Air Canada announced higher luggage fees by about $10. While almost every Canadian airline has now introduced fuel surcharges ranging from $40 to $60 and continuing to cut flights. Air Transat, the latest Canadian airline, now announcing it's slashing 1,000 flights until October. After Air Canada and WestJet also said they were cutting some flights, travel experts say insurers are not likely to cover cancellations.
So whenever there's a known event, essentially that means it will no longer qualify for insurance. So say there's an active war, or in this case, a jet fuel shortage, everyone knows about it. So as far as travel insurance policies are concerned, it no longer applies.
Many of those flights being canceled were flying into the U.S., but now a new Leger poll shows that roughly 2/3 of Canadians are choosing not to travel into the United States because of those Canada-U.S. tensions. Instead, many Canadians choosing to travel within their own country.
Coming up, there's no place like home. Adam finds out how a moment from the Wizard of Oz inspired a Comox woman to realize a dream under her home. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
A trusted voice focused on Vancouver Island first, sharing stories.
We're here at Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a problem. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at CTV News Vancouver Island.ca.
Finally, Adam finds out how a Comox Valley woman realized an artistic dream after discovering there's no place like home. On the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Just a couple things to do.
To appreciate what's beyond that door and the floor.
Here we go.
And what she's been doing down there.
All right, here we go.
You need to know how Bean Holden had been feeling up here.
I felt like I was missing something.
Something she first found back when she was posing for black and white pictures. Drawing.
It's great to be able to do that. There's nothing like it.
But after decades of life getting in the way of pursuing her passion for art, Bean felt like she was living in a black and white world.
And then I thought, where is my heart?
A question she answered decades later when she found the courage to take a painting class.
It was like the Wizard of Oz when they changed it from black and white to color.
She was so inspired, Bean painted more than 80 canvases in countless colors.
Once I turned on that side of my brain again, I couldn't stop.
Even better, people started buying her paintings. So Bean decided to go pro. But gallery owners said that they were looking for different subject matter to sell.
It was disappointing. I don't let things like that stop me.
But it wasn't until that day Bean went to store her unsold paintings in the crawl space.
Hey, this is a really cool thing to do.
That she came up with a creative solution.
What a crazy idea, honestly. And watch this pipe.
Instead of following a yellow brick road, Bean invites you to crawl along a path covered in knee-cushioning foam before arriving in her wonderful world of art.
The Crawl Space Art Gallery. Wow.
The gallery includes an eclectic display of paintings and low tables for art aficionados to socialize around.
That idea of being strange went away, and it was, this is a really fun thing to do.
And like when Dorothy clicked the heels of her ruby slippers, Bean has discovered that when it comes to realizing your art gallery dreams, there really is no place like home.
Your dreams are attainable, and you should keep going and reach them.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Comox.
It's like the Batcave, but better. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.